The world is invisible waves of energy. These invisible waves become manifest when we observe them. Therefore, nothing is real until we pay attention to it. We get what we focus on, and we are each completely responsible for what we create. We manifest our realities on a subatomic level based on what's in our subconscious minds. You can have everything that you want, and there are many techniques such as visualization and meditation that are an important part of manifesting those things. However, there must be a fertile field in which to plant the seed of your desire. Your subconscious mind cannot hold any contradictory mandates, or what you want won't appear. If you have a belief that you'll never have money and security, or never fall in love, or never be able to live where you really want to live, those beliefs will prevent each of those things from happening. The belief absolutely must be changed first in order to have it. The only problem with many vague descriptions of the law of attraction is, based on how our reality is created, it doesn't describe the way the process of having what we want truly works. Quantum physics, specifically the wave-particle duality aspect of that field of science, proves that we each create our lives. Molecules make up everything in our world. What we learn from quantum physics is that nothing in our world exists until we create it, at the very moment we observe or experience it. Everything in the world exists as an invisible wave of energy until we give it conscious attention. It is our act of observation that gives it form. Consciousness creates our reality. Mind affects matter. And the very first thing that is affected by our thoughts and consciousness is the self and the environment that the self encounters. Everything we experience, see, smell, taste, touch, and hear is sensory input. The subconscious associates these sensations with the memory of events and stores them for later retrieval. For example, if a specific sound is associated with a pleasant experience, when that sound is heard, the mind will remember that pleasant experience and recall the sensations that correspond with it. This also works for unfavorable associations, which can negatively block a person on a subconscious level when they are experienced. These are energies that are projected and absorbed, and we can become addicted to these feeling states on a cellular level. This in turn creates repeats of specific scenarios, whether desirous or not. As humans, the way we observe and what determines exactly what we experience is based on what's in our subconscious minds, which is determined mostly from the sensation and memory of past experience. The subconscious mind makes up an estimated 92% of the total brain. The conscious mind comprises the remaining 8%. In addition, the brain produces about 25 watts of power. The subconscious mind transmits this energy as desires, emotions, and impulses. This energy in the subconscious mind is inexhaustible. The brain functions 24 hours a day, all of your life. When the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are in conflict, the subconscious mind always wins. For example, when an overweight person makes the conscious decision to go on a diet without changing the subconscious desire for overeating, eventually the subconscious mind will win out and revert back to what it automatically has learned, or the old habit of overeating. The conscious mind has a limited memory and most of it is short-term. In contrast, the subconscious mind has virtually infinite memory. Enough memory for everything you have and will experience in your life. The subconscious mind can often be locked in what is termed as change blindness. This is the failure to notice clearly visible alterations to surroundings, which can block out what a person is actively seeking from life. Researchers at Harvard University conducted an experiment in which 15 people who were randomly walking down the street were asked for directions from a stranger. 2 workmen carrying a door would then rudely walk between the subject and the stranger. The stranger asking for directions would then switch places with one of the workmen. This would leave the subject giving directions to someone else, a person who was taller, wearing different clothing, and having a different voice. Over half of the subjects completely failed to notice the change. What this demonstrates is a shortage of attention. We are often carelessly unaware of most of what is going on around us. to the point where we can fail to notice obvious changes in our surroundings, including the ones we've asked for. This is critical to understand when searching for a new reality. Conscious attention is required to see requested changes. There are two ways in which people tend to focus. One, on what is wanted, and two, on what is unwanted. Many times, people don't even realize they're focusing on what is unwanted. However, the previous outlined experiment gives excellent reasoning as to why the latter is not the optimal choice to produce the results intended. For example, if a person were asked why it's important for them to have a good career, they may approach the response in either of those two ways. The first response would give all of the reasoning why a career would enhance that person's life. However, if the focus is on what is not wanted, the response may be something to the effect of, I want a good job because without it I will struggle to make ends meet and spend a large amount of my time in a place that I'd rather not be. In the first case, this person moves towards the goal intended, and in the second example, they try to reach the goal by moving away from the opposite of what they want. In other words, they are focusing on what they don't want, which will continue to make that observation a clear reality. These two ways of focusing the mind create very different outcomes, and it's very important to consciously be aware of which way we do this. The mind figures out how to create what is focused on. By attempting to move away from what is unwanted, there is focus on it, and the mind takes what we focus on very literally. It assumes that we want whatever we focus on. It doesn't register the negative and will begin immediately the process of attracting or creating the things that our attention is placed on, even though we don't want it. This type of attention creates an internal map of reality that the mind will always follow. All day, every day, we are placing our attention on something. The ability to focus on a specific thing and suppress all that is unwanted is the key to controlling your experience and reality. Controlling our attention and focus gives us a tremendous amount of power over our reality and can easily be accomplished with practice. Following are 3 ways in which to master this skill. Number 1, reevaluate what seems negative to you. By reevaluating what may be deemed as a negative experience, we have the opportunity to focus on the good elements of what seems like a bad event. This trains the mind to begin creating subconscious patterns of looking at only the positive. Remember, what we focus on is what is created in our reality. If the subconscious mind learns through conscious repetition to automatically search for the positive, more positive will be attracted into our lives. At first, this may seem a little like sticking your head in the sand and denying what is actually happening. And in fact, it is. It also works like a charm. Number 2, challenge yourself in your free time. During unscheduled free time, many people go into a mode of low-level information processing in which they worry about things or do mundane tasks such as watching television. Scheduling things we enjoy in our free time stops the brain from engaging in the nature of being lazy and reverting to old programming that automatically occurs. Through scheduling productive things to do in our spare time, we engage in more joy and positively stimulating experiences. With repetition, this triggers the subconscious mind to automatically and continuously look for more of what makes us happy. Number 3, appreciate all of the goodness that you see. This is one of the secrets of the happiest people in the world. We see what we look for, and we can train ourselves to be a part of the joy that is always waiting to be had. We don't have to passively wait for happiness to come to us. We can search for it and appreciate what is in front of us now. By offering gratitude and appreciation for all of the lovely things already present, whether it be the smell of a rose, the giggle of a child, or the $5 bill we found in an old coat pocket, we can teach the mind what we want from life. As with the other 2 processes, this practice becomes automatic and the mind will intentionally seek more of what we are focusing on. The subconscious mind is beyond our normal awareness, so we have to make a special point to access it. Your conscious mind is meant to be the master, and your subconscious mind is meant to be the genie. Once we learn how to train the subconscious mind to focus on the results we want, we can make whatever changes we wish in our lives. Briefly stated, To get anything you want, you need to change what's in your subconscious mind, or the internal map that it always follows. This means that if you don't like what's in your life right now, or you haven't had success manifesting what you want, you can make changes in your subconscious mind through conscious focus and experience a totally different reality, one that is of your choosing and more to your liking. Our filters determine what we pay attention to. We can either use them unconsciously, as many do, or we can master them and use them consciously and intentionally. Through conscious practice, new filters run unconsciously and automatically, which creates life in a certain preset way. If we choose to operate our focus consciously and intentionally, we can create whatever we want. It's that simple. And the most significant and rewarding aspects of using focus to create what is wanted is mapping how our future events will transpire.